Welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show, where compassion meets commerce and leaders lead with love. Join your host, Tom Jacobs, as he delves into the insightful conversations with visionary business leaders who defy the status quo, putting humanity first and profit second. From heartfelt strategies to inspiring stories, this podcast is your compass in the world of conscious capitalism. So buckle up and let your heart guide your business journey.
Welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show, where passion meets purpose. And today we have the incredible Curtis McCullom in the virtual studio today. And he's a master of unlocking potential, helping leaders leap over lifelong hurdles like a pogo stick to personal freedom. So we'll dive into Curtis's experience at the helm of his heart-led adventure. So ready your hearts and your minds, because transformation awaits. Curtis, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you for having me today, man. I mean, it's a pleasure to be on your show today.
I'm really excited to have this conversation, especially about how you're working with leaders for lifelong issues that are affecting them today and how you're helping them overcome those and see great success from it. So I'm really excited to, more personally, I think, or selfishly, to talk to you about that. But I'm sure our audience is going to love the conversation as well.
There you go. Sometimes I'm selfish like that myself. I'm like, you know what, guys, on my show is like, I'm like, hey, this is for me. If you decide to listen in, you can get a couple of tips too, but today is for Curtis,
Yes. Right. Well, and for the audience here too, but could you answer the first question I always have is, what's your definition of a heart-led business?
Well, I think it's linked into who I am. Number one, being an authentic being. And when I look back and I was kind of thinking about this particular show, I went back and looked at my core values. And I think everyone should stop and have someone elicit their core values. Their core values is their deepest level of programming. It kind of drives our behavior, who we are, and how we actually show up, or what we're doing or not doing. And my number one value is love. But when I've said that, guys, I want you to understand that's a label for me. So the next question you need to ask me is that, what does that mean to me? And that's what I ask my clients. And love means to me, Tom, is the transference of energy that connects to the heart. Meaning, like, this connection that me and you are having right now is like a spiritual connection, which I walk in their shoes so that I can have a better perspective on actually how to help and support them. So when I think about the definition of a heart-led business is, number one, love. And number two, my number two value is helping others, meaning like I want to empower people to achieve their fullest potential. So when you talk about a heart-led business, you're talking about the definition of a heart-led business. I think it starts with number one, being the authentic being that God created you to be. People are looking for authenticity, and then moving towards, for me, is love and helping others.
Do you find, and I love that definition too, by the way, but do you find that people struggle with the authenticity piece, especially in business?
Absolutely. The challenge that we have today is, as you well know, I mean, I'm from Mississippi, so I'm a country boy, and so some of the colloquialisms that I use, like everybody and their mama is a coach these days, right?
Right. Love it.
So it's like, so one of the challenges that we have of being an authentic coach is trying to compete or try to go through the noise that's out there. Everybody's doing something and shaking something or doing something. So sometimes what we need to stop and says, okay, look, I'm looking for people who are looking for me. So being me, being my authentic self is more than enough. And I think that would kind of cut through some of the other noise, because you're not looking for everybody. You're looking for those people who are looking for you, who are attracted to your authentic being.
Yeah. Why is it, do you think, that people find it so hard to be authentic, especially in the business world?
A part of it is part of what I do as a coach is I help individuals eliminate the blind spots that they've been kind of carrying around since childhood or, in earlier part of their life. So part of the challenge is that their their beliefs and their values are out of alignment, meaning that something that they learned early on that's now preventing them from being that authentic being. And so what I do as a coach is to actually help them figure out what is that now showing up in your life that's preventing you from being authentic. And I know for me personally, it was some childhood traumas,
Mhm.
some things that even though my parents meant well, my father meant well, but it did a little damage that I had to go and clean up in order for me to now show up to who I am today.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine that a lot of times people are bringing shame or some other emotions into it, and they're like, "Well, I can't share that part of me because I might be judged,"
Right.
or something like that. And what I found though is when you can tell somebody that's holding back, somebody that's not like their true self with you all the time. There's always that feeling, right?
Yes.
Do you find that as well?
Yeah, and it is a feeling, I mean, being a coach and a sales professional like yourself is that I've been trying to become extremely sensory conscious. And what I mean by
Mm,
that, guys, is I look at the total being, not what they're saying, not just what the words that they're saying, but their body movements and how they're actually carrying themselves. Because I've learned many years ago, like 93% of all our communication is nonverbal.
yep.
So even though you might be saying one thing, your body, your movements, your mind might be actually communicating something totally different. So yeah, I'm looking for those things, and I think it's very difficult for people to kind of really grasp that and kind of really take a look at that.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you brought that up too, because that's actually part of what I train people on is to making sure that their tonality matches the intention of
Yes.
what they're trying to say. Not the words, but the intention behind the words.
Oh, absolutely.
I could say to you like, "Oh, it's really exciting that you're here, Curtis." So,
No energy, man. No
no,
passion.
and the words are matched tonality, right? But if you're like, "Oh, I'm super excited that you're here. This is gonna be awesome." It's a
Right.
complete different, yeah. So I can see that with the authentic piece as well. So tell us about the business side of running a heart-led business and how that started for you.
Well, it's interesting. My journey actually started about over probably 40 years ago. I wanted to become a motivational speaker. So I studied all the greats from Jim Rohn to Tony Robbins to Tom Hopkins to Zig Ziglar, all the greats way back when. Some of
Yeah,
those guys probably don't even know some of those guys, but that's
yeah,
where I started. And I started in sales. And so I wanted to be that. And so I went into sales. And within 1 year, I became the number one salesperson in my company. Didn't know anything
that's
about the product. I was in financial services and I became number one. And so that I can say, not only can I'm teaching it, but I'm doing it. I mean, I'm actually doing the work. I can show you how to do it, not just talk about it. But then once again, that blind spot, I mean, I call it the wilderness that sometimes we us find ourselves in is that we don't sometimes can't get out of our own way. Even though
yeah,
I've been extremely successful in sales, number one in sales, I've been in top 10 to 15% of basically all of my life in sales, doing over $1 million in revenue for companies year after year. But still, something kept stopping me from actually being my authentic self. And I have to do some work around that. I mean, it's so important because of the fact that it kept showing up.
mhm,
Um, and even lately, in business, it was showing up. I'm getting all these transformations for individuals, and I'm looking at myself and I'm like, yeah, I'm doing well and I can do better. So, what is it that's preventing me now from actually being my authentic being? So, like most of you may need to do, I hired a coach.
yeah,
I hired a coach to kind of give me a different perspective. It's like as a coach, or think about a heart surgeon. A heart surgeon wouldn't dare try to perform heart surgery on himself.
I would hope not. That would be
Okay,
messy.
okay, let first, hey, Tom, let me give myself some anesthesia. Hold it, before I go to sleep, I need to open myself. It'll be a mess, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
And so hiring coaches is so important, so because they can see what you can't see. I think one of my podcasters said, it's hard to read the label when you're inside the jar, and
so
and
true.
that's so true. And I'm like, wow. Boom. I told her, I said, look, I'm gonna use that. After a while, I'm gonna stop giving you credit for it. I'm just gonna use it. But the whole idea is that we need a different perspective, and I needed a different perspective for myself because
Yeah.
I was showing up, I was doing great things. People see me on, YouTube and all these things like, wow, he has to have it all together. And I do for the most part. And I'm human.
Yep.
And I too suffer from some of those things. So I think it's so important for people to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you I always feel that it's very hypocritical to be a coach and not have a coach at some point or to always have it. Because it's like, well, I don't believe in coaching and it doesn't
Well,
make
well,
any sense.
well, you think about it. What are you actually communicating?
Yeah.
When I was in sales, I was a financial professional. I was in life insurance. I was a certified financial planner and, a CLU and all of those other niches that goes along with financial services. It would be very hypocritical of me to show up to tell a person that they need life insurance and I don't own life insurance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have it? No. And that's part of, I think, in sales and as a business and heartfelt business is that, guys, we have to open ourselves up so that we can, or empty ourselves so that we can actually attract people who are attracted to us and be that person we want to become. And it's so important that you do work on yourself to empty that stuff out. And it's interesting to me, Tom, is this: some of the people that are attracted to me have are coming to me for some of the same things that I've gone through.
Mhm.
That means now I have a story because I've emptied myself out now that I can actually receive more and to kind of help more individuals.
Oh, yeah, that totally makes sense too. Like that energy is attracting others that can use the help that you've already gone through. So
Yes.
it totally makes sense. Yeah, I love that. So talk to me about how you made that transition from working for other people to now having your own coaching business and what that transition was like for you.
Well, about 6 years ago, I was still in financial services, and I was in management now and coaching individuals on teams. And I came to a point where I just wasn't having fun. And it's
Yeah.
like, I was doing it. I was doing it because I was really good at it. I've been doing it basically, I'm like 35, almost 40 years. So I could do it in my sleep. I can coach individuals in my sleep. I can help people in sales and help people get into financial products like easy without a lot of effort, but I didn't have a lot of joy. And
Mm.
so about 6 years ago, we were financially able to say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore. And my wife says, won't you do what you always wanted to do? Won't you start your coaching business? And that's where the journey started. But it wasn't easy. Oh my God, it wasn't easy because even though you don't even know what you don't know. Tom, I started a few businesses and stuff, but this is probably one that's been pretty difficult in a way. And I mean, you're part of that story is that is part of coaching. Number one, I started as an executive coach,
Mhm.
and I'm like, wow, this is not what I thought coaching was. And it's like, no, 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 no. So that's when I went back and got a certification because what I used to become successful as a salesperson was neurolinguistic programming, which is the technology that Tony Robbins uses,
Yep.
and also hypnotherapy. That's what I used when I became number one in less than 1 year. So I went and got a certification as a master practitioner in neurolinguistic programming. I also got a certification as a clinical hypnotherapist so that I can utilize these modalities in my coaching practice. So when a person comes to me, we're not talking about surface level things. We're actually dealing with the subconscious, the part of our being, the 95% that controls all of our behavior, because if we can control that, then we can control our goals, we can reach our objectives, we can do those types of things. So that's how I started my coaching practice. But like I said before, and then in the midst of that, as soon as we got started, we lost our oldest son. And so we have to go through that and through the grieving process. And so I help individuals, because of my coaching, is help individuals move through that process of feeling the feelings that they need to feel. And I think I just did a video not too long ago, is it's okay not to be okay. Then I also said it's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to say pretend that you're okay and you're not. Allow yourself to feel those feelings of sadness, and allow yourself, if you need to scream, scream. If you need to just be, whatever you need to do to allow this emotion to kind of pass through you, allow it to do so. So yeah, that was part of my journey.
Yeah. Wow. That I couldn't even imagine. Um, when you said that starting this coaching business was much, much harder or different from the other businesses, what do you mean by that?
Well, like I said, I didn't know what I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people shit on you, SHOU, not they shit on you, what you should be doing. You should be doing this. You should be doing this. You should be doing on YouTube. You should be doing this. You should, shit. And you don't need to. No, basically. And so I invested a lot of money in things that people told me what I should be doing. You know, oh, this is what you do to be successful. Oh no, what this was to do to be successful. No, you need this. You should be shouldn't. I'm like, oh my God, stop it. Stop.
Yeah.
You know, after thousands and thousands of dollars later, it's like, it's all good though. It was all good in the sense that, and that was part of that. What came out of it was my coaching framework actually came from my experiences of failure and setbacks and heartbreaks. Is what I call the LGET mindset coaching framework, which is learning, growing, expanding, and transforming. Meaning that whatever you're going through, wherever you are in your journey, you're going through it for purpose. And the purpose is so that you can learn something. Therefore, you grow, you expand, and you transform. But guess what, guys? The process starts all over again. And there's never a point in your life where you should be stagnant. You should always be learning. You should always be growing. You should always be transforming.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do people feel like that's a very difficult thing to do? Or why are people feeling stuck then?
Well, I think going back to what we talked about before, the reason people are stuck is because of the fact that they are carrying some belief, some value, some thought, some feeling that they have not truly released that energy. And so part of what I try to explain to people, and they can do this on their own, meaning number one, acknowledge it. I mean, it's one of the hardest and most difficult things that an individual can do is acknowledge the fact that I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling stuck, or I'm feeling angry, or I'm feeling fearful. But look what I'm saying. I'm not saying that I am sad. I am fearful. I said I'm feeling the feelings or the emotions. I'm separating the feelings and the emotions from the individual.
Yeah.
So number one is that we can separate that and acknowledge it and be okay with it. It's like that's a natural emotion, because an emotion is a feeling is an emotion that wants to communicate with us and leave. So when you allow it to communicate with us, then what I want them to do is ask the right questions. This question, I hate to say do not, but do not, because, and in the subconscious mind doesn't have a not, but do not ask yourself why questions. Why questions will take you to a part of your subconscious mind that you'll be like, what the heck? How did I get down here? Because it's going to tell you all the reasons why you're not doing what you're doing.
Yeah. We don't need, we have enough people in our lives telling us that. So
So ask yourself what questions. What can I do
Oh, yeah.
How can I now move forward?
Mm,
What is it that I need to learn from this? So these what questions and how questions, what it does now, that part of your body, your part of your being goes out into the universe and find reasons and things that can attract to you and tell you and give you some inspired actions that you can take to continue to move forward. That's
yeah.
the key to it. It's like, ask yourself, what is it I need to learn? What is it I need to be doing? What is it that what can I get from this? How can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? When you start asking yourself those questions and then listening to your higher self, not only listening, then taking inspired action, that's when things actually start to happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I know that's happened for me personally as well. So when you were in the early stages of your business and things were hard, what kept you motivated to keep going with your heart-led business and staying course and helping people?
I think the thing that an individual has to have in business, period, is a strong enough why.
Yeah.
Why you're doing what you're doing. And it can't be just about money.
Right. Well, that's a profit-led business then at that point.
Yeah, well, basically, money is important.
Yeah,
Trust me, you
absolutely.
need to make a profit. And then, like I'm looking at my values. So my number 4 value is making money
Yeah.
because of the fact that, but my making money is this is what my making money is: the exchange of energy that sustains impactful work, growth,
Yeah.
benevolence, and lifestyle.
Mm,
Meaning, like, so that's important too, is that when you're listed your values gonna dictate what's actually happening in your life. When I'm working with individuals, Tom, it's interesting. You believe it or not, money can be number 8, 9, or 10 on their values because of their beliefs that money is bad,
wow.
or money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil, and all of these things that well, beliefs that we've picked up along the way, right?
Yep.
And immediately the first question I ask them is, "Are you making money?"
Mhm.
No. They didn't have to tell me that. When I listen to their values and money is so low that they won't make money even if they wanted to. It's like they want to, but they don't know what's stopping them. So part of that, I don't know how we got there, but
Well, they have like 6 other things before the money, right?
yeah.
Well, I mean, and that's really the purpose of the show here is to make it okay for heart-led business owners to make a money and feel good about it because the more that you make, the more you can give, the more you can do. And it's not that money buys you happiness. It just makes life a lot easier. That's the currency, right? Money is currency. It's what moves. Making it like how can you do what you love to do? How can you help other people? And it just keeps going around in that circle. So
What
that,
I like someone says, when you have money, at least you can show up to your problems in style.
that's right. That was in Wolf of Wall Street, I think.
That's what I was telling you earlier, Tom, is that when we listed our values, look at my first 4 values. I wanna read them to them. Number 1 is love. I told you it's transference of energy that connects to the heart. Number 2 is helping others, empowering people to achieve their fullest potential. Number 3 is passion, that
Mm,
driving force that energizes purpose and fulfillment. Number 4 value is making money.
wow.
See, but when a person says money, they have to ask them, what does that mean to them? That's when they find the baggage.
Mhm.
Baggage is their language on how they describe money. They'll say something like this: "Oh, well, money means to, man, I want to make sure I pay all of my bills." Listen to the language, or it's hard, or money is whatever what it means to them. So
Yeah.
my language for making money, which is important, guys, is my language when he says making money is exchange of energy. What does that mean? Is that if I'm giving energy out, energy needs to come back to me in
Yep.
the form of money.
Right.
This money is what does it do? it sustains impactful work, meaning that I can continue to get up to do what I do.
Yeah.
Number two, it's growth. Number three, benevolence. I love to give. It's hard to give if you don't have anything to give.
That's right.
And number four, and another one is lifestyle. My wife, she likes she likes nice trips. I like nice trips.
I like nice trips. Yeah.
And so, but if I don't make money, I can't take them.
Right. That's right.
And one of the things for my wife is great experiences. Man, this life is about having some great experiences. So when you change your meaning of making money, then your subconscious mind says, oh, okay, now I can attract it because of the fact that I'm not stopping it because of my old beliefs and my old values of what I thought money was. And sometimes we need to stop and ask ourselves, what does money mean to me? And let yourself come up with the ideas. Don't try to, I tell my clients when we're going through this values session is, don't tell me what you think I want to hear. Tell yourself exactly what you're feeling, because I can't help you if you tell me that you make it flowery and like, oh my God, I got it all together. No, 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 no. Just be honest with yourself. Acknowledge with yourself. Money means dread, or money means working hard. Listen to that language and watch the language that actually comes from what making money means to you.
Yeah. I was at a conference last year where the facilitator had us do have a conversation with money
Yes.
to elicit, and I thought that was the most brilliant exercise to do, and things came up with, and I was like, oh, okay, I see where my mindset is around money, and I've been working to change that, and it's worked out well too, believe it or not. Yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah, it's amazing. And that was one of the reasons I started the podcast as well, is that I wanted to feel and be around a community of other people that were like, "Hey, we want to be heart led, but we also want to make money."
Right.
And you can have both. And I've met really, really wonderful people that, are making good amount of money that are still heart led. And I think that we need that message out there.
But it's not one or the other.
All right.
It's not. It's like simultaneously it's working together because of the fact that you are a heart-led business. That means that you're gonna give your clients value
Mhm.
because of the fact that, I was thinking about when I was preparing for your show is like, I thought about a passage of scripture where Jesus says, love your neighbors as yourself, meaning like you have to love yourself to love your neighbors. You have be able to give so that you can get back. And another passage he talks about, he says, give and it shall be given unto you.
Yeah.
Pressed down, shaken together, run it over. Whatever you meet out should be coming back to you. Think about this, guys. The more you give out value, the more can come back to you in a form of energy, which is money, which is what kind of drives this world and basically is a part of the principles that a Christian-led or heart-led or Christian principles is all about that.
Yeah. And even Zig Ziglar had that quote as well, that which I'm going to butcher, but the more that you do for other people, the more will come
Yeah,
back to you.
absolutely. It says you can get everything you want in life if you help enough people get what they want in life. And that's
Yeah.
what it's all about. It's like you
Absolutely.
helping other people get what they want. Then guess what? In exchange for that, an exchange of energy. And what happens a lot of times, the energy is cut, is severed because of the fact that you're giving out so much and you're not getting it back. And you have this feeling deep inside of like, what is it I'm doing? Why am I doing what I'm doing? I'm not totally fulfilled. It's because of the fact that you've cut the energy. You didn't allow that client to give you back value that you deserve to have, so that it kind of shuts it off. It's like you got to have this movement. Energy is transference of energy. The law of conservation is never lost or destroyed. It's just transferred from one thing to the next.
Yep. Yeah. This has just been a fascinating conversation, Curtis, and I'm so glad that you've been on the show, but like we're close to time now. Um, Tell us, how can people learn more about your business and potentially work with you?
Probably two places that you can always find me on is number one is LinkedIn.
Okay.
Curtis McCullom on LinkedIn, or my company name, Bespoke Human Potential Coaching, either one of those. And another place where you can get a lot of great content from me is on YouTube at Curtis McCullom. You'll find me there, where we have a lot of great content that I produce content weekly. Also, my podcast is on YouTube. Also, you can listen to others, CEOs and entrepreneurs, kind of figure out how now to lead their lives to be better. So those two places are probably the easiest places to actually find me. Is YouTube at Curtis McCullom, and also on LinkedIn at Curtis McCullom.
Okay. Very cool. I encourage everybody to check that out. And we'll put that into the show notes as well. So, Curtis, again, thank you so much for spending your time with us and sharing your wisdom, being authentic, being joyful, being full of love as well. I really appreciate your energy and your time as well. Thank you.
You're welcome. It was my pleasure, Tom.
Awesome. And thank you, listeners, and those watching on YouTube as well. We really do appreciate it. And like I said before, make sure you're checking out what Curtis is doing down in the show notes. We're going to put all the links to his assets down there, so you can check out the YouTube channel and the podcast and all that good stuff. And also, while you're down there, if you want to share the show with a friend or family member that could use that advice that we shared today, I would appreciate that. It just spreads the word about more heart-led businesses out there and help people realize that you can have money and profit and still be a heart-led business. And until next time, lead with your heart.
You've been listening to the Heart-Led Business Show, hosted by Tom Jacobs. Join us next time for another inspiring journey into the heart of business.